Today's game will see combined NATO forces from Canada and US facing down against the oncoming Soviets as the Canadian troops are rushing to support the front line that the Soviets have broken through, encountering Soviet forward elements and hoping to crush them while the Americans seek to press reinforcements up following. Let's take a closer look at the armories. The NATO formation is 3 different formations, all under one command. We have a Canadian M113 infantry company out of the Free Nations book with 2 platoons each, full strength, HQ, 2 strong mortar squad, and we're using 2 ITVs currently to stand in as M150 tows. The second formation is a Canadian Leopard 1 armored squadron with an HQ of 1 tank and 4 platoons each of 4 tanks. In support of that 2 Canadian formations, we have a platoon of 2 80 ATS, 3 blowpipe AA section, and a 3-strong M109 artillery battery. As an allied formation, to represent the Americans in this situation, we have a combined arms light company, I believe it's called, with 2 full-strength infantry platoons, 10 Humvees each, a Humvee scout section, and a Humvee attack section, all with tows, not tow twos, and obviously the HQ unit as well. And that will be the Canadians today. You'll see I've got the Free Nations book there on the Flames of War digital app. Great buy, good cost, and great way to get access to digital copies of the books if you can't find them in stores, as at the moment, unfortunately, all our local stores are out of stock. Soviet force for today under the command of Bree will be much simpler. We have a T-72 company with 2 companies each of 7 T-72s and an HQ T-72. 1 BMP-2 max strength rifle company with an added AGS-17 launcher and 4 Shilkas. And then in support, we have a battery of 3 Carnations, a battery of 3 Hales, a BMP-1 OP, and a flight of 4 Hind attack helicopters. And that will be our 120-point lists for today. All right, here is the table. The Soviets are attacking from the short table edge here. We are playing the cornered mission. So I will be defending on that corner. Bree has placed 1 objective there and another one in behind those trees just up there. And in reserve, the Canadians are putting 1 unit of their Leopard 1s, their M109s, and all of the Americans from the Light Combined Arms Company. So we'll get to deploying and be right back. Here we have the Canadian defensive line, holding the ridge line and the edge of the trees there with infantry dug in. The Leopards behind, waiting to spring forward, and a platoon on the flank, hoping to get to the enemy's flank. Facing off on the other side of the Autobahn
is Pain.
Yep, is Pain, or as I like to call it, Soviet Steel. BMP company there on the right, both T-72s ready to bear straight down at me, and the artillery poised in behind the wood line for cover. Let's get this started. Oh, and I should add, we have elected to do dusk, so the first 3 turns will be in daylight, and on the 3rd turn defensive player, we may start being in nighttime. We'll let you know what the role is when we get there. All right, in the first Soviet movement phase, everybody is maneuvering to advance. Bree tactical to forward, the BMPs, that platoon of T-72s, and that, company of T-72s with the Shilkas taking a wide flank, and the Hinds are slowly and cautiously advancing forward. Moving on to shooting. All right, in the first shooting phase, we are going to attempt to re-range in the artillery, as the Canadians do not deploy underneath it. So Bree said she wants to try and range in her salvo template over there, and the Carnations on top of them. So we'll do that first. And then there are 4 T-72s in that company that have line of sight and range to my dug-in infantry on the hill here. And those company have as well, just have enough range on 3 of them to shoot there as well. She elected not to use the hinds for shooting this turn to hopefully protect them from AA. So we're going to roll and be right back. Alright, in the Soviet shooting phase, Bree managed to successfully re-range in on the first attempt the BM-21s, killing a Carl Gustav and the C6 machine gun, as well as bailing out 3 of my M113s, and my one of my 2 mortar tracks, whose number I can't remember, and pinning down that platoon.
It's very hot here today, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, a little brain dead at the moment. The second attempt was used to range in the Carnations, killing, I think, one of my C1 FAL teams and pinning down that unit and bailing out one of their tracks as well. Then she shot the T-72s into them, unfortunately only scoring a hit but not doing anything else. But still a rather successful first turn for the Soviets. Moving on to the Canadians. Alright, so turn 1, Canadian starting step. Got some remounts to do, so we'll start here. This M113 gets in. This one gets in. Also gets in. The mortar track. Doesn't get in, and because the trees, oh wait, no, it's within 6 inches. Should have checked that before I started rolling. He is within 6 inches, so he is in line of sight, so gets the commander reroll. Stays out, so that'll be a last stand check for them. And then lastly, that 113 over there needs a remount as well. He stays out as well. Alright, so then unpins on a 4+. They unpin. And they stay pinned.
Okay.
And then last stand on the 125s.
You want my dice back for that, or has this
I'm
one
gonna
betrayed
use a
you?
different die.
That one's betrayed him. Oh, and I rolled a 6 on his die.
Typical. Okay, so that unit just runs away. Great. All right. Moving on to my reserve roll. 1 die. I'll get a unit.
Okay.
All right, so for my movement, I brought my 1 Leo platoon in from reserve, moved up, tactical. 2 of them will have the ability to shoot, while the other 2 are hiding behind the tree that stands there. This Leo platoon moved to the left, with the command tank moving down the hill to maximize their fire. And that Leo platoon successfully crossed and moved up into the road. So we're going to move on to the shooting phase.
All right.
Alright, so for my shooting phase, my ADATs and my blowpipes over here will engage your hinds. These 2 Leopard C1s will shoot into the BMB2s here. These 3 Leopard 1s from this platoon, including the company command tank, will engage this T-72 company, while the 4th, I think, doesn't really have line of sight to them, so we'll engage the company over there. And the 2 lead tanks of that squadron will also engage that T-72 company on the flank. None of my infantry have range yet, so they will remain gone to ground. And this Leopard company does not have line of sight. Sorry, Leopard squadron here does not have line of sight. So we'll roll and be right back. Okay, well, I killed a BMP.
Yay!
And bailed out 3 T-72s.
Yay!
And I guess technically I also killed a hind. So,
yeah. I'm sturdy.
They're actually better than I'm used to. Usually when I play T-72s, it's against M1s and M1A1s and Leopard 2s. So I'm not used to them literally bouncing shots from the front. So,
I would like to remind you, I said, Jacob, what do you think I should play? And you said T-72s. I've got a bunch of them. And I went,
well,
okay.
I mean, it was either that or tanks with higher front armor that I can't even hurt.
Yeah, it's fair.
So, moving on to Soviet turn 2.
Yay. All right, so I have some remounting to do and a unpin for the guys in the force there, and I think that's it for my command step.
All right.
So I will start this way and go that way.
Okay, so those two that are over there, if they fail their first roll, they are within 6 of the battalion commander, so they get the reroll.
Okay. So starting with this guy
Yep,
on a 3+.
Bails in.
He's good.
Second one. Bails in.
also
And the
good.
one over here. It's in. All right, and then the 2 infantry stands there in the trees.
Also on a 3+.
They unpin.
They're good.
All right, moving on to movement. All right, Bree started her movement phase by advancing the hinds to target the leopard squadron in the trees. The T-72s and the Shilkas are advancing up behind them. The central T-72 company is charging forward, and the BMPs are maneuvering their way around the trees and trying to avoid the mines. We're going to move on to the shooting phase.
All right. So my hinds are going to shoot into your leopards.
Mhm.
It's leopards, right?
Yep.
Yes. Okay. Still learning tank names or stuff. I think just these two, maybe this third one, are gonna have range to also shoot him.
Well, they'll have range. It's about line of sight.
A line of sight.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yes.
Yeah,
line of
because
sight.
the angles and whatnot. We'll check that
Yep.
when we get to rolling.
They can't do jack against them. This one, this particular tank, is going to shoot this guy. The rest of this group are going to shoot into them. And the BMPs are going to shoot into the
Infantry on the hill.
infantry on the hill.
Yep, and then she will be repeat bombardments.
Yep.
All right, we'll roll and be right back. All right, Soviet shooting phase, once again, rather successful. Artillery, maybe not so much. I think you only killed one team this
I think
turn
so.
with it?
Yeah,
Yeah, one of the C1 teams over there, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. And bailed out an M113 over here again. The T-72s, however, are much more effective, bailing out one leopard and destroying the other two there, leaving only one in good standing there, and wrecking the front two in that squadron. BMPs opened up, unfortunately not hitting anyone because I am still gone to ground. And then the hinds attempted to shoot, and the combined AA of the ADATs and the blowpipes showed them what for. Yeah. All right, moving on to Canadian, turn 2. Turn 2, Canadian starting step. I'm going to do my remounts. So this 113. Remounts. Leopard one over here. On a 3+. Remounts. This 113. Missing the tray, staying unremounted. Pinning back, unpinning this unit. They unpin. And unpinning this unit. They also unpin. All right.
Okay.
So now I don't have to remember to actually dig a token out. Yeah. Oh, and then
Reserves.
2 reserve rolls. I'll get a unit.
Okay.
All right. I forgot to my ambush again.
Yes, you did.
Crap.
Shall I graciously allow your ambush?
I wouldn't mind.
I will graciously allow your
Thank
ambush.
you, my love.
You are welcome, my love.
Next time, remember to do it in the right order. We'll be back with the movement phase. Alright, so first thing I did was reveal my ambush as Bree let me, even though I did it out of step. So the M150s, which are totally not ITVs, but we're just proxying them currently because I don't have any, they ambushed here on the edge of the tree line. For my reserves, I chose the Humvee light attack platoon? No, the fire support platoon of 4 toes, I-toes. So they came on 16 inches up and terrain dash forward. Then we had movement. So this leopard platoon, or squadron, sorry, advanced forward, maximizing their potential firepower in the BMPs. This leopard squadron, what's left of it, and the battalion commander taking cover behind the comrades there that have given their life so far. And that squadron likewise taking cover behind their comrades' wrecks. Everyone else is again staying stationary, and we're going to move on to shooting. Alright, for my shooting phase, we'll start from here, work our way across. The Leopard 1 squadron here will shoot up the BMPs. The M150 ITOs will shoot at the T-70s there, along with the 3 remaining C1s here into them. ADATs can't shoot this turn just because it did anti-air last turn, during your last turn.
Yep.
And then those 2 C1s on the roadway there will shoot into your T-72s there.
Okay.
And if needed, and if they have range, the Carl Gustavs may open up on the remaining BMPs.
Okay.
Alright, so we'll roll, and again, be right back. Okay, so we started with the Leopard C1s here. 6 hits, killing 5 BMP2s, and knocking out the crew of 1. Only managed to kill a single RPG and AK team, but that's okay. Then we used the M150s, killing this T-72. The Leopard C1s opened up, hitting 3 tanks, only bailing out 1 and destroying the other, but still better than I expected. And then those 2 Leopards over there, they tried to open up, but between the Hinds crashing into the tree line in front of them and their comrades blowing up in front of them, they're a little shaken at the moment, so they missed all the shots.
Yep.
I'm still not going to shoot with my infantry. I think staying on the ground with these guys, even though they're still under that repeat bombardment, still makes the most sense. So that'll be Canadian turn 2, on to Soviet turn 3, and the possible falling of dusk. We got some remounts, starting with this BMP2 on a 3+. Yep, and then that T-72 there. Yep, and then unpinning that squad on a 3+.
Yep.
All right, not surprising. I think that was all of your command step stuff, so we're going to move straight into movement phase.
Yep.
All right, in the movement phase, Bree dismounted her motor rifle company to take cover in the trees before advancing across the fields, and the BMPs grouped up through the wreckage. T-72s there and there are beginning to move in towards the central objective while trying to avoid the minefields, with the Shilkas moving up in support. So we're going to move into the shooting phase. All right, for your shooting phase on.
All right, so I'm going to repeat my bombardments, and then we're going to do some split firing over here. These 2 are going to shoot down the road at your remaining 2 guys in the road here. This guy is going to shoot into your remaining unit right here, leopard unit right there.
Yep.
These 3 are going to shoot into the
Canadians in the tree line.
Yep. This one fellow here is going to shoot up at the Canadians up the hill.
Which Canadians then? The infantry section?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. And the BMPs are also going to shoot into the infantry section.
Okay, so we'll roll and be right back.
Yep.
Okay, so in her shooting phase, repeat bombardments. We pinned down both platoons again, bailed out 1 of the M113s, and destroyed 1 of the Humvees with the rocket salvo. And then with the conventional fire, everything else missed, unfortunately. Those 2 T-72s couldn't hit through the wrecks. He missed his shot, and well, 2 of them I think hit infantry, but I passed the save and throws on them, so sadly, not effective shooting except for the artillery this turn. BMPs attempted to engage the infantry, could not score any hits either. So on to the top of the Canadian player's turn, and we checked with dusk fighting. You roll turn 3 defender's turn at the start of their starting step. On a 5+ it becomes dusk, so let's just see if it's nighttime. It is nighttime.
It is now nighttime.
All right, so let's reacquaint ourselves with how that affects things, and we'll be right back. All right, starting step. So as we saw, we got dusk. So what that does is every time you want to check line of sight, you got to roll a die to see how far you can move. If your unit has infrared or thermal imaging or something like that, you get to roll 2 dice, picking the highest. If a unit shot last turn, you ignore that because you can see their muzzle flash. You add +1 to the cross checks needed, and if you shoot at somebody, it adds an additional +1 on top of concealment. So it makes the fighting a lot harder, probably going to be closer ranged. So command step, we're going to do our remounts. So the 113 gets back in. And that M113 over there, that's still bailed out. Still not getting back in. Unpinning the squad with a reroll. They unpin. And unpinning that squad. They stay pinned.
Okay.
And then my 3 dice for reserves. I get a unit.
All right.
All right, on to my movement step. All right, so for my reserves, I chose my Humvee Scout section. They moved in from 16 inches, and then dash wasn't. Oh yeah, it was a terrain dash because they can't move more than 12 anyways. So they dashed in there. I blitzed the 3 of the remaining attack platoon? No, fire support platoon. I'll get these names eventually. So the fire support platoon blitzed successfully forward. This Leopard C1 squadron, I crossed all three of the 4, and brought them up behind. And the platoon that was here, they advanced bravely into the valley. The C1 squadron over here are bringing their guns around to potentially get some side shots. And the blowpipes attempted to cross here, to also cross, getting 2 up to the tree line with the 1 just remaining where it was. So we're going to move on into the shooting phase now.
All right.
All right, so we just double checked. The nighttime doesn't come into effect until the attacker's turn 4, so I don't have to worry about its effects yet. So for my shooting phase, this Leopard C1 squadron, 3 of the Leopards will engage these T-72s, with this last Leopard shooting all the way across to this BM-21, just having line of sight. Over here, these 3, one of them will engage the Leopards to its left, while the other 2 engage the Leopards to its front. The Humvee tows will shoot the T-72s to their front. We'll shoot the T-72s there, and the AD-ETS will attempt to shoot the T-72s. I still have to check to see if they have proper line of sight. It looks like they do, but we'll have to get down to their level just to make sure. And then obviously those 2 Leopards there will engage the T-72s down the road. Infantry still electing not to shoot because the gun to ground bonus is so good for me right now. So we'll roll dice and be right back. All right, so a bit of a more successful shooting phase than I'm used to so far this game. Those 2 Leos in the roadway there were able to bail out those 2 T-72s. And then with the combined firepower of 2 of those Leopards, the M150s, and 3 of these Leopards, I killed and or destroyed all of the squad members there, so there's only 3 bailed out tanks left. The 1 Leopard did shoot up at the BM-21, actually killing it. And the ITOs on the Hummers attempted to shoot at the T-72s advancing there, but failed to hit. Yeah. So, not bad. May have destroyed an entire company this turn, depending on morale rolls. So we'll move on to the start of dusk, turn 4, Soviets. Soviet starting step. We got a lot of bail-ins.
Yeah, I do.
All right, take us through it.
I'll start with these guys over here, and then we'll see if I lose that whole company.
Yep.
So we'll start with this one here on 3+. Nope.
Okay.
That one.
Yep.
Yes. And then we'll start over here with him. Yes. And then him. No.
Ooh.
And then him.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. Fair enough. And I think that's the only ones. Yeah, because vehicles only require 2 units in good standing, so unfortunately the BM-21s are still good. So we'll move on to movement.
All right, so for Soviet movement, I moved the BMPs up and around a little bit, trying to also skirt through the minefields. Shuffled over the infantry to take refuge behind some of the wrecks. Moved up the T-72s. Closing in on those Leopards there. And then I'm never going to remember their name.
Oh, the Shilkas.
Shilkas, thank you. The Shilkas also just kind of trundled up to provide support, ? They've done nothing this game. And that's about it. On to shooting. Alright, so for shooting, I'm going to rebombard. We did just check. Thankfully, I'm not danger close for either of my templates.
Yep. Now with the BM-21s, because I did kill one of them, they're down to 2 guns firing, so you'll be re-rolling successful hits. Okay. Then what else, huh?
Alright, we just checked rolled for the
Yes,
ranges.
line of sight because the dusk has now fallen.
Yep. And thankfully, my BMPs are keeping their full range.
Yeah.
And these guys both got 20 anyways, which is fine because they're going to swing at the leopards right there.
Yeah. So you were saying half that company are shooting the leopards, and the other three, the one that's not bailed out, are going to shoot into there.
Yep.
And then the guys that aren't bailed out here, you said we're also shooting the leopards?
Yep.
That one won't be able to. That one right there because of him. So I'm assuming he'll shoot up here.
Yep.
Okay. And then you wanted the BMPs to shoot?
To shoot your tanks up on the hills.
Also the leopards?
Well.
Okay.
Yep.
So we'll roll, let you know, and be right back.
All right. So semi-successful shooting phase. Dropped my artillery up on the hill here. Bailed out a couple of things. One thing stayed bailed out.
Yeah, bailed out the 150 and the Leo 1. Pinned down the unit again.
Yep. Pinned down that unit again. I don't think I damaged anything really. That one is still bailed out.
Yep.
The T-72 is right here. Shot up the road. Did nothing. The front 3 T-72 shot ahead of them and killed one of their tanks. One of the leopards. The 4th one right there. Shot straight ahead at those leopards. Did nothing. The leopard in the front there shot the guy right in front of him and missed. The other leopard, right?
T-72.
Sorry, T-72.
I have the leopards.
Yep. Shot the leopards up the hill and missed. And the BMPs shot the leopards up the hill and killed one.
Managed to kill it because it forced another bail check, and it filled its morale after that because it was already bailed out. So, yeah, not bad.
Not too bad at all.
All right, on to Canadian, turn 4.
Yep.
All right, starting step. Remount here, 3+ because protected ammo, I believe. Gets back in. Remount on the 113 on a 4+. The 150, but still on 4+, gets back in. And that M113 still stays pinned. Okay.
He is determined to not get back in.
Unpin the infantry there. They stay pinned. And unpin the infantry here. They unpin. And then this leopard is the last of his platoon. He needs a morale check, but he's got his battalion commander beside him. Sticks around.
Okay.
Oh, and then my reserves on turn 4, it's 3 dice, guaranteed a unit. Still getting a unit.
Okay.
Alrighty. I think that's my starting step, so we're going to move on to the movement.
All right, perfect.
Alright, for my reserves, my M109s, they came on, moved up to here. For the movement itself, I successfully crossed out that leopard, brought him up to here, had his platoon dash forward. The leopard formation commander fell back to here. The leopard that was part of that squadron, that was the only one left, tacticaled forward. I should say they all tacticaled, they didn't dash, I'm just using that as a term. Moved forward there into the teeth of the enemy, trying to get through the confusion and the darkness. The scout platoon advanced up to here for next turn to be able to shoot. And I think that's actually all my movement this turn.
Okay.
So we're going to go on to shooting. Alright, so my leopards here will engage the BMPs. Command leopard will engage the carnations if he's got the range. And I still have to check line of sight because white fighting. The M150s are going to engage the leopards there in the valley in front of them. These 3 leopards will engage that T-72 company. My leopard there will also attempt to shoot the carnations, I think.
Okay.
The Humvee toes will also engage those T-72s, and my 80 ATS and my blowpipes will shoot ground fire against them. And if any of them are in the front there are still left alive, my Carl G's in the tree line will open up.
All right.
All right, moving on to the dice rolling. Okay, so part of the way through we changed up a little bit, so I'll make notes there for you as we go. So those 2 leopards there shot into the T-72s, bailing 1. That leopard shot up the hill at the carnations, destroying 1, while the other command leopard did the exact same, destroying the one on the other side. Then Combined firepower of 3 Leopards there and the M150s destroyed the rest of the T-72s there, leaving the one bailed out still. The Leopard squadron here opened up on the BMPs, killing a few more, but not as many as I'd hoped. I think there are still 2 left there in good standing. 3? 4. Yeah. And 1 bailed out. Then we had the tow launchers on the Humvees open up on that squad because they had thermal imagery, only hitting 1, killing it. Yes, the ADATS, the ADATs, they shot, hitting both hits, destroying those lead T-72s, delightfully. And the Carl Gustav there had just enough range to shoot at that one right up against the building, but only managed to bail it out. And then the infantry here, their Carl Gustavs opened up on the remaining BMPs and further killed another one. And I think that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to move on into turn 5. Starting step, Soviets turn 5. We're going to do some remounts.
Yep. We'll start over here and sweep across.
Yep.
So 3+.
Gets back in.
Finally.
Yeah, he's been bailed out for a while.
3+, he has been.
Okay, then get back in. The one beside the building. Gets back in.
Oh, that takes the whole turret.
That one there in the roadway.
No.
Stays bailed out, and then the BMP.
Yes.
Gets back in. All right, so then we need to do a last stand test on that T-72.
Yep.
So he sticks around. And then the Carnations.
And they were a 3+.
They run away.
They run away.
Excellent. All right.
They get scuttled.
On to the movement step.
All right.
All right, Soviet movement. In a desperate gamble as she's running out of forces, the BMPs attempted to push in through the minefields, unfortunately getting wrecked, with the last remaining 2 moving up to there.
And one's bailed out, not wrecked.
Oh yes, one of them is technically bailed out. I thought that was a minefield marker, my bad.
Nope.
And the infantry have also started aggressively advancing forward. The Shilkas there have lined up to take some shots at my infantry on the hill, and the rest of the T-72 company there has decided to, instead of rushing out into the teeth of my air defense, have started taking the roadway to try and clear those last 2 C1s and maybe push in through the trees. So we're going to go into the shooting phase.
All right, so for my shooting, I'm going to repeat my 1 remaining bombardment.
Yep, right there.
I'm going to shoot the 1 medium bases RPG,
This
18.
one, the RPG 18,
Yep.
and we're going to shoot it there.
Yep.
Okay.
2 of these guys.
Just have range to shoot the fleeting leopard, and the other one has line of sight and range to shoot that leopard.
Yep.
Okay. What was left of the BMPs, I think there was 2 over here still.
I think so.
Yeah, that one and that one, they're not dead.
There's no smoke.
I'm gonna either, you said shoot the leopards or the Humvees.
Yep, I think only one of them's gonna be able to shoot because the other one's gonna be shooting up his friend's
Oh
butt.
yeah, good point. Yeah, so probably the Humvees will be the better target.
Yep.
And then those 2 T-72s in the road are gonna shoot the Leo 1s.
Yep.
Anything
That's how it
else?
goes. I think that's it.
All right, so
The Shilka's at the tree line.
Right. All right, so we'll roll and we'll be back. All right, I forgot to check danger close. The BMP there that is bailed out in the minefield had moved forward far enough. I didn't think about it because I, again, thought it was dead. So it is danger close, so we are going to shift the BM-21 range-in point from here over to there with the BMP OP. That hasn't really done too much yet this game. So, on a 5+, huh?
Nope.
Second attempt?
Nope.
Third attempt.
No.
Oof, that is big.
Off table it comes.
Yep, unfortunately. So now we'll go back to the rest of the shooting and continue on.
Yep.
All right, so as you have seen, attempting to re-range in the BM-21s because we forgot about danger close, that failed. We went on to the rest of the shooting. The T-72s in the road tried shooting those C1s down the road from them, missing. The Shilkas opened up on the infantry, getting 2 hits that were saved. BMP-2 shot the Humvee scouts, killing the AGL. The automatic grenade launcher scout. And then that lone infantryman took a Hail Mary shot on the Leopard command tank, sadly missing. And the RPG-7s also sadly missed. So we're going to move into Canadian turn 5. So, command step. We're going to remount that M113 finally, yes? Yeah.
No. Oh, I thought it was a 1.
All right, and then unpinning that unit. Yeah. And actually, I think that's it for my starting step, really.
Now the artillery's gone. They're like, all right, boys, up we get.
Yeah, pretty much. And then reserves again. Getting 1 unit this turn. Yay. So yeah, like
He
4
still has
units
so
or
many units,
something.
guys. Look at
Yeah,
that.
the back
That big
section
green
that's really dark.
blob. Yeah.
So, one of those Humvee transport platoons will be coming on. So we're going to move into movement.
All right.
All right, so for reserves, we brought on the light attack company here.
Mm-hmm.
They advanced in. Then for movement, I forgot to move him, actually. It's going to just have come to here, I guess. Doesn't really matter. His platoon's all the way up there. So he dashes so that he doesn't have to... No, he tacticals, yes, but we'll take a +1 penalty if he needs to shoot because he's out of command.
Yep.
This Leopard squadron here, they kind of repositioned a little bit just to give the tow launcher there a little bit better line of sight. The squadron there and the company command tank, they have advanced along with that last tank there to try and destroy the rest of that platoon.
Mm-hmm.
I also forgot to do a last stand test, I think, on him. I can't remember if we had to do a last stand test if he passed it in the preceding turn, but he loves it anyways. Alright, so for my shooting phase, these 3 Leopards are going to start shooting into the infantry there with their cannons.
Mm-hmm.
The Humvee tow, as part of the scout section, will engage the build-out BMP.
Mm-hmm.
My infantry, if they have line of sight and range, will engage the infantry. My formation command team will attempt to spot a bombardment here
Okay.
with the M109s.
Yep.
We'll see if the M113 machine guns also need to engage.
Thunderstorm.
Got some real rumbles now. Atmospheric sound.
Yeah.
The tow launchers, the M150s, will engage the Shilkas. No, sorry, they were going to engage the bailed out remaining T-72. The Humvee tows are going to shoot the Shilkas.
Mm-hmm.
And the 1, 2, 3, 4 Leopard 1s and that Leopard 1 are going to shoot those T-72s in side armor, and those 2 Leopard 1s will shoot front armor.
Okay.
So we're going to roll and be right back.
Perfect.
All right, so managed to kill all but one of the T-72s over there with all the Leopards shooting, leaving the last one bailed out. Unfortunately, we did hit with the tows twice on him, but he was able to successfully bounce both shots. Lots of 6s. Then we poured in firepower with the Leopards, the infantry in the tree line, and their M113 50 cals, getting, I think it was 2 RPG teams and 2 AK teams dead, and with the combined weight of fire pinning them down. Unfortunately, though, with night fighting adding +1 to the score needed to range in, I did not get my artillery ranged in. So that will be the end of Canadian turn 5. We're going to take a short break to make dinner, and we'll be back tonight if the power doesn't go out. Otherwise, we'll be back within a day. All right, turn 6, Soviet starting step. If I end this turn without any of you guys within 8 inches of an objective, it is my victory. So let's see what we can do.
Let's see if we can do it before we lose power.
Yeah, we have some remounts, though it does sound like the storm's mostly passed us by.
Yeah.
So, we got some remounts.
Yeah, starting over here.
Yeah.
He remounts.
This lone guy here.
He remounts.
And then unpinning that unit, because I killed the BMP.
They unpin.
And then some last stands on your T-72s.
Bloop. So on him, he runs away. He scuttles.
No, he just drives off.
Yeah. Oh, he drives off?
Yeah, because he's not bailed out.
Goodbye.
And the last one. He sticks
around.
Okay. So we're going to go on to movement. All right, in the movement step, Bree moved forward that T-72 that finally unbailed and got hit by a mine and bailed out again. And then the infantry charged forward, some of them getting hit by mines, so only losing 2 teams, I think, though. And then these 2 BMPs here kind of shifted forward just to get some better shots at things. And the 2 Shilkas are going to stay stationary and see if they can use their stationary rate of fire 6 to kill some Leopard 1s on the side armor.
The infantry got pinned down again because they got hit by so many mines.
Well, no, it's the second they get hit by a mine and infantry team is pinned. It stipulates that they finish their movement and then become pinned.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Alright, so for my turn 6 shooting, I'm going to attempt to range back in my artillery right about here.
Okay.
My Shilka have stayed stationary to take stationary rate of fire shots at a couple of leopards there.
And that one at the back there.
And that one at the back there.
Yep.
Yep.
Then you were saying you're going to, in case it doesn't work, you're going to throw 2 RPGs here into them. You're going to throw that RPG and these 2 AK teams up the hill. And then these 2 will fire as RPG teams at the Leopard 1s that I should have on the screen when I'm pointing at them.
Yes.
And
And
then
the last 2
BMPs?
BMPs are going to shoot at the same leopards there on the hill.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, we'll roll and be back.
Yep. All right, so for Soviet shooting turn 6, I did nothing. Nothing died. Nothing got bailed out. Yeah, a whole lot of nothing. So if Jacob can kill essentially these 3 stands,
No, it's pretty much
5 stands.
Yeah, that are all within 8 inches of an objective before the end of my next turn. It'll be victory for Canadians.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I know it's getting a little late, but we'll see how this goes, and we'll be right back with the start of Canadian turn 6. Starting step: Canadians turn 6. Reserves. I get a unit because I didn't roll anything, so one of my last 2 units comes on, and we will do our movement step and be right back. Alright, so for my reserves, brought on the HQ unit of the light company, which was a single Humvee and its infantry team. This company of light infantry here have advanced. The rest of my movement, I brought around this Leopard 1 to here, reverse that squad through in there. Oh yeah, I forgot to turn him around. Sorry. That was going to be his move. I kept forgetting to do the follow-up last stand check again. He did eventually break and run away. And then these 2 minigun mounting Humvees from the scout company have advanced so they can actually shoot. And then everything is just staying stationary otherwise.
Okay.
So we're going to go into the shooting phase. Alright, for my shooting, I will again start by attempting to range in a bombardment. Then leopards here, here, and here will all shoot into the infantry, with that leopard engaging what's left of the Shilkas along with the M150 tow launchers. And the scout tow launcher here from the Humvee. The rest of my infantry and the M113s, as well as the 2 minigun toting Humvees, will also engage the infantry. And that's about everything that's got line of sight at this point, so we'll roll and be right back. Alright, so what did we do? We bombarded here, finally, got it to range on the 3rd attempt, only killed 2 teams. One Leopard 1 decided to shoot the BMP2s, killing 1, leaving the other one. The other Leopard 1's here, these Leopard 1s, and I decided that Leopard 1 as well. That was back there, all shot in the infantry, along with the M113 50 cals and the infantry. Cutting down a few, but still leaving 2 RPG teams within range of the objective. The M150s killed 1 Shilka, and the tow launcher from here killed another Shilka. So those tow launchers on the Humvees on that side did not have anything to shoot at. And to finish off the infantry, we risked the charge with the Leopard 1s, successfully getting in, missing all the defensive fire because they were pinned, thankfully, otherwise all 5 would hit. And we crushed the RPG team. Bree went to counterattack and unfortunately rolled a 2 instead of the 4 that we needed. So they fell back. So we will be ending my turn with no Soviets within 8 inches of an objective, which will be a Canadian/NATO victory.
All right. It was a very good game, my dear.
Yep, we'll film a debriefing in a little while here, and then we'll be back. Well, here we are, a few days after the battle. Unfortunately, sorry for that.
As soon as we called the game, the power went out.
Yeah. I mean, it came back on relatively quickly, but we've been busy with work and stuff, so we've been pretty tired. But here we are to finish this up. So, good game, honey. Well fought. Lots of freaking tanks a lot of tanks. Leopard 1s, they're great, but they struggle against, even as we saw, even T-72s, which frankly is something I'm not used to. A lot of the time in the past, I've run the T-72 hordes and have felt like they basically just die the second something looks at them. So this has been somewhat of an eye-opening experience. I can hurt them, but not very well, especially not on their front armor. I do have the mobility to get around to their side and the rate of fire to kill them when I do, but to get there is a bit difficult. So, great experience for me. Very eye-opening, bringing a very, I would say a very typical Canadian list here. Yeah, gonna have to take a better look at my deployment. I feel like if I put the ADATs somewhere else, they might have made a bigger difference throughout the game there. Wouldn't have had to rely on the infantry as much, but no, that was fun. Great first experience playing my Canadians.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, huh?
I don't like your minefields.
Yeah, no, you really did not like those throughout the game.
Cut off half of my possible advancements until I finally just said skirt and charge. And your anti-aircraft taking down my helicopters sucked a lot.
Well, that's
like
what they do.
Turns in.
It's what they do.
Yep.
That's their whole purpose, after all.
Well, I mean, yes. And your never-ending swarm of reinforcements.
Well, I needed something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought in theory the Light Combined Arms Company was a great reinforcement choice because it's only like 30 points for like almost 30 Humvees in infantry.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not entirely sure now. I might try it a couple more times. I really did enjoy it. I don't know that they really did too much. It was mostly the tow Humvees that actually had an impact on the game, but that was fun.
Well, you never know. Different games, different situations, different forces and circumstances, right?
Exactly. So, well, thank you so much for watching, guys. As always, we're pulling for you, so keep your sticks on the ice.
Take care, guys, and check us out on our social medias.
Mm-hmm.